Welcome back. We're now actually to the phase where I get really excited because Doug brings in his machinery. It's a big blower fan, and I guess you were able to tell how the house performs in terms of air leakage and assess the energy from it.
That's right. Basically, from any building, you're going to lose the heat in one of two ways. Either the heated air escapes the building, and that's what this test is all about, to find air leaks, or the heat goes straight through things like walls and windows and so on. So that's insulation stuff. That's not what we're looking at right now.
Right.
So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to depressurize the house by blowing air out of it with this blower door setup. So that's going to cause air to try to come back in the house anywhere it can. Anywhere I find air coming in the house is where heated air can escape when my fan isn't running. So some of the common places I see it coming in are attic hatches that aren't sealed properly, definitely open wood-burning fireplaces, old windows that are leaky, doors that have improper weather stripping. But there are also some surprising places too. Sometimes I'll look at the chimney down in the basement and the air is channeling down from the attic next to the chimney around the outside of it.
Right.
So the test is really important to find things that just otherwise wouldn't be visible.
Now, how can you tell something's leaking?
Well, basically what I do is I'm doing two things here. First of all, I'm going to take a set of readings. I'm monitoring pressure inside and outside the house while I take readings at different fan speeds. Those get incorporated into the software I use as part of calculating the air leakage in the house. Then secondly, after that, I leave the fan running. I walk around the house with my high-tech leak detector tool, which looks an awful lot like an ostrich feather, and look for those places where air is coming in. Yeah, sometimes people giggle when I pull that out, but I'm getting used to it.
But it's a visual tool, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. Never wears out, perfectly calibrated. Yeah.
Wonderful. So this is exciting. Let's get this started. He's going to start running the blower, and we'll be able to tell how this house performs.
So fireplaces are a really common source of leakage. Even a natural gas fireplace, quite often when I test them, there's air leakage coming through during my blower door test, especially if the natural gas fireplace has been retrofitted into what used to be a wood-burning fireplace like this one. So let's just see if I'm right, see if there's any air leakage. So that's a pretty typical source of leakage in a house. Unfortunately, that particular one you probably can't do a lot about. In reality, you want your house to have some ventilation anyway. What my job is to try and help you get it as close to that target as possible. Natural Resources Canada has a target set for air change in houses. You don't want it totally tight. Otherwise, you're going to get moisture buildup inside the house, condensation issues, mold and mildew and so on. But you don't want it really leaky either, or your heated air is escaping the building. So we're trying to find that happy balance. This particular leak you probably can't do much about. Attic hatches are another really common source of air leakage in homes. Frequently they're not sealed with any kind of gasket, and frequently they don't have any insulation on top of the hatch itself either. Let's have a look at this one and see how it looks. As predicted, pretty leaky. It's a pretty easy thing to fix. A little bit of foam rubber tape around where the hatch sits and glue some styrofoam on top of the hatch to insulate the hatch itself. And if the construction allows you to, a couple of hooks and eyes to suck the thing down against the foam rubber tape is a great idea as well. Sliding doors are a pretty common source of air leakage in houses. They tend to leak mostly at the top and at the bottom. What happens is, as the door ages, the track at the bottom and the rollers in the bottom of the door wear out because there's a lot of weight on them as the door gets open and closed. So the door gradually shifts down lower, which moves it out of alignment with its seals, and it starts leaking. So let's just check this one and see how it looks. Wow, that's a really significant leak. I would definitely be recommending to this homeowner or to a prospective buyer that they consider changing out this door for a new one.
Well, thanks for joining us on the show today. I hope you've learned lots about what can be done to improve your property in terms of energy improvements and basically controlling your budget and making your house a little more comfortable. So thank you very much, Doug, for joining us, and perhaps you have a few more last words for our viewers before?
Sure, yeah, a couple things to take away. First of all, remember that improvements in energy efficiency in any home go hand in hand with improving the comfort in the house. A lot of people don't really think about that, but it's hard to put a price on comfort, especially if you're going to be in the house long term. Make those improvements now and make the rest of your stay in the house comfortable. It's also a great investment. You get a lot of the money back when you go to resell the house, but maybe the most important thing is get the energy evaluation done first, very first step before you do anything else. You don't have to already know what upgrades you want to do. That's my job, to help you figure it out and prioritize it. So it lines you up for the grants and makes sure that you're going to do the upgrades that make the most sense for you and your living situation in your own house.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Doug. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks.